And joining us now to give us kind of a rundown on the season hopes and their first game, Coach Scott Wachenheim. We call him Coach Wack, and he's with us now. Hey, Coach, great to have you back, man.
It's great to be back.
I love you. You're always so enthusiastic. And, Coach, I want to start with your staff. You got a couple of new coaches in your system. You added Coach Scott recently to your staff as your cornerbacks coach. Just give us rundown some of your changes to your staff.
John, that might take the whole show.
I know, right?
For the second year in a row, we got 7 new staff members. You know, we have seven coaches that moved on to jobs that better suited their interest and financial needs. But Brian Shepard's back as the offensive coordinator, which is awesome, and coaching our quarterbacks. And Tom Clark is back as our defensive coordinator and coaching our linebackers. I had the privilege to add Marshal Roberts from Liberty University to be our secondary coach and our pass game coordinator on defense. And I've known Marshal when I worked with him at Liberty. He's just an outstanding man and outstanding coach, and thrilled to have him and his family on the staff. Marshal brought with him Kenny Scott, who's played at Liberty and was at a small school. He's going to coach our cornerbacks. And then on the defensive line, we added Pat Kuntz, who was at the University of Indiana last year. Billy Kosh, our receivers coach, who is back from last year, GA'd with Pat. And, Pat's our juice coach as well as our defensive line coach. And he played D-line at Notre Dame and does an outstanding job for us. And then we've got a volunteer assistant with the new rules of one SCS football, Jacob Bernard, who came from Shepherd, who's our volunteer assistant on defense. And then offensively, like I said earlier, joining Coach Shepherd is Billy Kosh, coaching the receivers. Was able to add Kyle Jolly, who I really like as our own line coach and has really done an outstanding job with our offensive line. Kyle's dad played here at VMI and graduated from VMI, so excited to have Kyle here coaching our O-line. Chris Morris coaching our tight ends and is a special teams coordinator. And Chris played some ball at William & Mary, graduated from Liberty University, and then coaching our running back is Coach Anthony Davis, who came to us from Utah State. So, and last but not least is our specialist coach coaching our kickers, punters, and long snap is Nick Conte, who was a punter at UVA. I recruited him to come to UVA out of Roanoke, Virginia, as a walk-on. Nick earned a scholarship and was an all-ACC punter. Has had a couple cup of coffees in the NFL and wanted to get in coaching and was thrilled to add Nick to the staff. So that's your Keydets coaching staff right there.
You got a good staff, and I'm really happy that offensive coordinator Shepard is back, Coach Shepard is back, because I thought you had a fun offense last year, and I think you guys are doing the right thing, spreading it out and making it exciting. Your first game, always exciting. Never easy to go to Marshall on the road as an opener. How's that shape up?
Oh, well, Marshall's a very good team. Doc Holliday's a very good coach and very good recruiter. But, Marshall is picked to win Conference USA. Several polls have them in the top 25. They've got 4 returning starters in the O-line that have 103 combined starts between them. And then they also have a new recruit of Florida State transfer, Josh Ball, who is from the state of Virginia. I recruited him to UVA to play O-line there when I was there and know Josh real well. He's a tremendous player. Their all-conference USA freshman quarterback is back. They got 2 really good running backs. They're bringing in some transfer receivers to replace the guys they got, but very talented offensively. On defense, they have a little bit more attrition. They've lost 5 starters, but a lot of the guys they brought in, one's a West Virginia transfer who can flat-out play and, was ruled immediately eligible by the NCAA. And then, they got a backup linebacker last year that you watch on special teams. He just can flat-out run and hit. He's from Chesapeake, Virginia, Virginia Beach area. And they got a couple players from Virginia Beach on their team. And, very, very talented team. The best part of the team was their special teams last year. They blocked 3 punts and returned some punts and kickoffs for a long, long yardage. So very talented team, great challenge. But, you always like to play the best. You always like to be tested by the best. And short 4-hour bus ride for us, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
All right, so how do you compete with them, and tell us a little bit about what we're going to look for in this game, VMI offense?
VMI offense, what we've got to do is run the ball a little bit better than what we did last year, and then just stay with our air raid offense, get the ball out quick when the reads determine that the ball should come out quick and then hold it if we have to go to the second, third, or fourth read and, move the ball down the field. But we got to protect our quarterback. We got to protect the football, and we got to run the ball a little bit to not let them just totally tee off on rushing the passer. Also, our receivers are going to have to make contested catches. They play a lot of aggressive man coverage. Matter of fact, they hold a lot and get away with it. So we got to be able to fight through that, not complain about it, and come up with the play. So that's what we have to do offensively.
Are you pleased with your quarterback situation, Coach?
Oh, yeah. I got the best quarterback in the country, at one SCS football, Reese Udinsky. I just think he's an awesome human being, a quiet leader, a leader of strength. There's a great book, Captain's Class, written by Sam Weaver, that talks about all different types of captains. And I think in that book, Reese is similar to Tim Duncan's style of leadership. Mm-hmm. So thrilled to have him as our starting quarterback.
Well, the other thing is he has a shotgun for an arm. I mean, the kid's got a great arm. That's the other thing.
Yeah, he does. He's got a very solid arm, but he anticipates it. His arm strength is made to look stronger because he throws on rhythm.
Well, that's good. He's also got some legs, and it looked like last season that he matured as a player, as a quarterback, as the ensuing season went on last season specifically. I mean, he's always been tough, but I thought I was very impressed with him last season. Tell me about your defense.
Marshal's very good. They run a lot of RPOs, a lot of quick game stuff, and then they also get in 2-3 tight end formations and run the football. I think they do a really good job picking up movement with their offensive line, so we've got to be good at penetrating and, creasing some of their run schemes. We also got to be quick to break on their short underneath throwing game. We got to keep the quarterback and receivers off balance with different coverages, and, if they throw us a ball, we got to catch it. The key on defense is we've got to tackle well, and we got to take the ball away when the opportunity possesses. We've got to be aggressive. We got to attack. We got to see a play and make a play, not wait for the play to come to us. And then we also got to be able to overcome adversity. I think VMI teams the first 4 years I've been here, we have a bad play and we don't recover from it. It takes us 2 or 3 plays to do it. We got to be like a professional golfer whose tee shot may go, off in the woods, but his next shot is on the green and he's putting for par or birdie. And we've got to be able to do that. We can't hit 2 bad shots in a row. So I think, that's just a winning mindset is that, hey, like Kobe Bryant said, if I miss 10 shots, I'm not worried. I'm going to take 10 more because I know I'm a 50% shooter and the next 10 are going in. You got to kind of play that way, here at VMI. Don't worry about giving up a bad play. Adversity happens to the Clemson Tigers. You got to go out there and make the next play.
I'll never forget an interview that James Harden did in between halves. They were playing somebody in the playoffs, maybe Golden State, and he had a miserable first half. He was like 1 for 15 or something. And do you know they do the quick interviews as they're walking in at halftime? And whoever the interviewer got Harden going into the locker room, and he said, what are you going to do in the second half? And he looked at him and he says, take more shots.
No question.
Yeah,
no question.
That was it. He just take more shots.
He's a good shooter. That's what they pay. He's actually a good maker. Anybody can shoot. I can go out there and shoot. They pay those guys big bucks that can make
shots. Take more shots. I mean, you just got to get over it and go. And all right.
Yeah.
Your kicking game has not been something you would be proud of the last couple of seasons. You had all kinds of issues. Has it been addressed now?
Well, I didn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure that out, John. I mean, I appreciate you pointing that out, but yeah, it really has. Grant Clemens really had a tremendous offseason. He prepared for the season. He's hit a 52-yarder and a 55-yarder in scrimmages, and he's been a lot more accurate. And I think hiring Nick Conte has helped him, and really been impressed with the way Grant has performed during training camp. Also, Reed King came in, with a much better leg punting the ball and has been able to overcome a bad punt here and there and make the next one, and is learning how to deal with adversity. But been very impressed with the way Reed and Grant prepared. Also, our 2 long snappers, Connor Riddle and Robert Soderholm, have been accurate and consistent. With the improved depth of our football team, we're able to have some starters on special teams, which we haven't been able to do the last 4 years. So having some starters on special teams and more depth I think will make us more competitive in special teams and improve our performance. Really will be a huge test against Marshall because they're really good on special teams.
The number of new players, you said you have more depth today than you had in the past. How did you accomplish that, the depth?
Oh, well, we've just had better retention of the players we recruited, and that's basically the reason why we have some more experienced guys. Now, we still have 39 freshmen on this football team, but the majority of those guys will probably redshirt this year. Now, we have 3 really superstar freshmen that have come in and just, turned heads in training camp. The first one's Leroy Thomas, a wide receiver for us from Roanoke, Virginia. Just a tremendous wide receiver and tremendous competitor. And then 2 guys on defense. One guy will start, Josh Surratt, who's from Colonial Forge, Virginia. He's going to start at strong safety for us, and just really the best for a freshman, has the best football IQ of anybody I've coached. Just really a student of the game and a smart player, and does a great job communicating out there. And then also Aldric Malry, who will play our spur position, which is a hybrid outside linebacker, strong safety. He's a freshman from Maryland that is coming down, and PG County young man that will play a significant snap reps for us. So those 3 guys have really turned heads as freshmen, but the majority of our team will be sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Retention
and recruiting. That's your ticket, no question about it. And you probably need to give a retention seminar to some of your friends on the basketball side. I would suggest
Well,
that.
I don't think that's 100% true, John. I mean, we had some loss too, for the similar reasons basketball did. And, we work at a school where there's a 41% attrition rate for the entire core. So you are going to have some attrition at VMI, and we've had ours too. Mm-hmm. The tough thing in basketball, you only have 15 players. So you lose 1 or 2. It's a huge detriment to your team. Where in football, when you're playing with 22 guys at a time, if you lose 4, it's not as big a loss percentage-wise. So, I think Dan Earl and his staff are doing a great job, and he knows how to keep his guys here. And, we're in a new era where transferring is common. There's a transfer portal. The NCAA has made rules that allow it easier for young men to transfer. I don't agree with those rules, but I'm certainly going to abide by them. And, you got to find ways to be successful within the rules.
I know you find a way to do that. I want to thank Coach Scott Wachenheim for being with us. This is the Coach Scott Wachenheim pregame show kickoff. Keydets at Thundering Herd, Saturday, August 31st, 6:30 p.m. Our pregame show starts at 6 p.m. Don't want to miss that. And that is on WPMH AM 1010 and 100.1 FM in Hampton Roads, and WLES AM 570 and 92.7 FM Richmond and Central Virginia. Coach Scott Wachenheim, thanks for being with us. Good luck Saturday night, Thundering Herd. Thank you, sir.
Winning time and 1-9, John.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it, no question.